and she's been missing for 10 days. So, in all fairness, if this video footage ends up, cracking the case and they can bring their mom home, then maybe it should be a victory. But we'll have to see.
What an incredibly odd and strange and sad story this is.
Yeah.
What's the latest as you're seeing it?
Yeah, so about 30 minutes ago, the Pima County Sheriff's Office deputies detained someone for questioning just south of Tucson, and that's a major breakthrough. At around noon today, the FBI released photos of somebody approaching the doorbell, the front door of Nancy Guthrie's home, and we thought that was a major breakthrough. And, just a few hours later, we're now seeing someone detained. So probably some more major developments overnight.
And Kash Patel said, the head of the FBI said, this is a person of interest, and perhaps stung by some criticism, has said this shows they are making progress.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, on Thursday, the Pima County Sheriff said there will be no more media updates. There'll be no more press conferences because there are no updates. And so it just shows the power of these images and the footage that was released earlier.
And this is a guy in a mask, isn't it? I mean, the details of this story in terms of what may have happened to her are kind of extraordinary. But this was a guy approaching the doorbell in a fully masked up.
Yeah, he was fully zipped up in a jacket, completely covered head to toe. He was gloved. You could see the gloves trying to sort of hide the camera. It looked like he was trying to shield his face even further. I will say through the mask, you could kind of tell it looked like this guy had, I think it was a man, it looked like he had facial hair. And you could kind of see the eyebrows. So you also had footage of him walking, so maybe somebody could identify him by his gait. We don't know.
Just explain to us how big a story this is over there, because it's a very famous woman. It's an elderly mum. There's talk of the ransom being paid. She does very dramatic. Savannah does very dramatic videos. How is it playing over there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge story. Savannah Guthrie is a very recognizable face. We all know her as one of the anchors of the Today Show. I would say she's very non-controversial. Probably her biggest controversy is potentially some sort of rift with her former co-host. But even that was unverified, and she seems very well loved and has been known as a fair journalist. So we all know her and really like her. President Trump has spoken to her on the phone. Every media outlet in the country is covering this case. So it's a huge deal, and it's a weird one. We recognize Savannah's face. Now we know the faces of her two siblings. We've seen them on videos on Instagram. So we're all getting to know this family in this very tragic way.
Have they paid the ransom? I mean, that I think is another area where people always get interested, because it's such a moral conundrum and also a kind of practical conundrum. Would it work? Is it the right thing to do? Do we know where they've got to on the ransom?
We don't know that. There have been some reports as of tonight that say that so basically there was a Bitcoin address that was connected to one of the ransom letters that the FBI was investigating. We also don't even know if that ransom note was verified. We don't know if it's credible. But TMZ, one of the outlets who got one of those ransom notes, said tonight that about $300 or less than $300 seemed to have been paid into that Bitcoin address. So it doesn't seem like the amount has been paid. From what we know, that amount was $6 million. Yeah. So that seems like a far cry from that demand.
Yeah. And just finally, you mentioned that Trump's spoken to her. There's something in this politically, isn't it, that Trump will claim a win here Kash Patel will claim a win here if they bring her home. It almost becomes a political victory as well as a happy ending for the family.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I mean, the FBI got involved relatively early on, I think 8 days ago, and she's been missing for 10 days. So, in all fairness, if this video footage ends up, cracking the case and they can bring their mom home, then maybe it should be a victory. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, it's still very much up in the air. Kelly, it's so good to speak to you. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Have a good one.